What up guys, Shore here, and today you join me on a brand new World of Warcraft Legion video. And today's video is going to be a little bit of a special one, because we're going to be talking about my UI and how I've kind of set it up, as I've recently sort of redone it or added some stuff to it. So we're going to go over each add-on that I use for each thing, and then we'll be moving on from there. So, starting where I just put my character and target frames. We're currently down here at the bottom. This is mainly just because I don't really need to see them, and when I look at my bars, check my cooldowns and such, I'll be able to see them as well. But in most cases, the only thing that I was missing was my insanity level. Now, this is why I've added this bar here, which is a weak aura, which I'll leave, which I can just show you how to set up right now. Is this weak aura just here? So we'll go over that in just a second. But basically, what this does, I'll just show you. If I mind blast a target, as you can see, as I gain insanity, it just puts the bar, just moves the bar up. This is mainly just so I can know when I can trigger my void form and such like that. And also, you may have just saw my mind blast cooldown also come up here as well. So if I use mind blast, it shows me how long I have left on mind blast cooldown. This is mainly just because in team fights and in RBGs and even in arena, I want to be using mind blast a lot more, because I feel like that's going to be able to get into some more void eruptions and such, to make sure my insanity's kind of rotating around fast enough, so I can get the lingering insanity buff and such like that from leaving my void form. Then in turn I can get into my void form sooner, so on. So by me using that and by me changing my key bindings a little bit to kind of put more the preference on mind blast over that as well, is really, really good. So yeah, that's that. I'll just quickly show you how these weak auras work. Basically, I also have another one that tracks the stacks of whilst I'm in void form. It's very simple to make. Just download weak auras. Then if you want a progress bar, like say for example the insanity bar, you just go here. You want to call it whatever. So I've scaled mine up, but originally they'll start this side. You go to trigger, you go to apply trigger, and then you just go to resource and insanity and replace all triggers. I won't actually do it because I already have one, so I'm just going to delete this one. Now for one with like the mind blast cooldown, it's basically very similar. You just want to go, if I go new, you want to go icon, trigger, apply trigger, buffs you've also got cooldowns here, which you can just kind of apply. So I just went cooldowns, mind blast, selected this one, replaceable triggers. As you can see here, it will just set these here, and then you can move it to where you want, and then you can set the scaling of the numbers in display settings, which I'll show you in just a second. Let me just remove that one. If we go to display settings and we scroll down here, as you can see, this will change the size to scale them up and down within the image. So if you want them bigger, so you can see it a little bit easier there as well. You just want to make sure this one is set on the reduce as a timer, so you just put percentage %P. You can also do it to be the stack one. So for example, for my stacks of void form, as you can see here, it's just set on the stack, so that the buff is obviously up here, but it will just show the stack. So if I just get void form really fast, I'll just show you what that looks like a little bit as well, and you'll be seeing this more so in some of the coming RBG videos later on this week as well. So as you can see here, we have just a number of what is in our void form, and so we can just see how much void form we're actually in and how many stats we're on, and this will kind of give me a kind of conscious note of how many stacks we are on outside when we actually end our void form as well, which is really, really cool indeed, as you can see here. And as you get into the higher levels, it's quite hard to keep in void form. 31, 32, 33, 35, and as you can see, we got 35 insanity, and if I just spam, I'm already back into void form, and I still have 25 of the buff whilst being in void form there. So that is really, really cool. When you start getting into the insane levels of void form, it gets kind of insane, the level amount of haste that you can get. Now again, this is me basically free casting, and this is a PvE scenario, so take it with a pinch of salt. But if you can keep your void form and void bolt going, and you can use void torrent of cooldown, you can get very, very high void form stacks, as you can see here. And when you do have the lingering insanity buff, it does not take long to get back to the 65 that takes to get back into void form. So that's really, really cool. If you guys would like me to go over a Shadow Priest kind of video and talk about how I use my Shadow Priest in PvP and such like that, and the spec I go with that I've actually found that works really, really well, which is this spec and this spec at the moment for PvP, sorry. This is the only thing I mainly change out for arenas. If I'm playing with a rogue, I'll switch out to fear, because you obviously don't want to DR their stuns. Now moving on to the rest of the UI, because this is what this UI video is. This is just my World PvP frame. What goes I'm back? Apologies about that. I just had a brief sneezing fit. But we were talking about the World PvP frame, or my RBG frame, which I can also bring up here. This is actually a little bit overlined. It needs to be about here, but this is basically where I put all my target frames, so you'll see it in the RBG videos. I moved it to that before. It's nice for me to see when I'm healing. I put my party frames here as well. I just mainly put the thing that I want to be looking at the most, basically in this area here, because I kind of try and cluster them around my character, so I can be looking at my character's positioning, what's around me, what the enemy team is. So for example, the enemy team on average is going to be in this space here, and my healers and such are going to be, and my team is going to be like around this area here or so. So it's nice and really easy to see what's actually going on. And something I'd recommend those of you who play range, or even if you play melee, zoom out your character as your frame as far as possible, so you can just have be a lot more aware of what's around you. Yeah, you don't get to see your character as nicely and as as close up, but if you really want to see them, you can just zoom the camera in like such. So yeah, that's something I'd recommend for anyone who is struggling on their awareness as well. Then we have Omnibar. Now I'll just go over what my Omnibar actually has on it, because it's not just for kicks. It mainly is, but I also have added, if I can just show everyone, this load of stuff right here. Now this may look like a lot right now, but there is no situation ever where all of these are all on the bar at once. Now basically this has every cooldown that I'm ever going to care about in PvP. So I know when a shaman is going to use Link. I know when a shaman uses Hex. I know when a shaman uses Spirit Walking. I know when a shaman uses Healing Tide. I know when a Fire Mage uses Combust, etc. So these are just nice things to keep track of, and as they are around my Void Form area, I'm instantly going to know what is actually going to be there. Now, if you want any more detail on all of the add-ons I use, I will link the video I made a couple of months ago, because it's kind of stayed similar for most of the add-ons I actually use. But I wanted to just make this brief little add-on update, or the my DPS tracker of choice is recap. You can also use SCADA. I just put mine there out of the way. But yeah, so that's basically going to be wrapping up my UI. I use Bartender to move my bars around. If I just go into here, which is Bartender, as you can see, I can move my bars around, and I basically just turned off Blizzard UI, which is the Blizzard UI here. So you just literally untick A available, and that goes away. My XP bar, my artifact power bar is actually available. It's underneath my order hall bar, which is here. If I go out of my order hall, I will show you where it is. It's just up here on the top, because when I'm in my order hall, I don't really care how much AP I actually need or have. And can the sun stop screwing my green screen up? That'd be great. Alright. Loaded screens. Loaded screens. As you can see, here is my artifact power bar just here at the top of the screen. And then we have our focus frame, which is just a normal. Why he was on our focus, I have no idea. But it's the same. I just normally use right click on focus for predator frames, and also in battlegrounds as well. I just right click to set focus. And my focus frame is here. The cast bar is just underneath. I can see target of target as well. I don't normally care what my target of target actually is in the same way, so it's kind of hidden underneath the bar, but if I really need to know, I can just click on it. But yeah, so let me just think, is there anything else to cover? I can sort of do a brief tutorial on how to use Bartender. So if you want to basically move bars around, just click unlock, you can move them around. If you want to scale, say, your void form bar, or if you're a druid, or with your change form bar, literally you just go into the scale window here when you have this selected, and this will upscale and downscale your void form or etc. or whatever is in your status bar. You can also have button lock. Personally, I don't use this because sometimes I like to drag things around, but this will basically, if you have this on, it will stop you from being able to just drag them off like this, so you can't easily do it. But because you can just do it if I don't hold shift, I can do it. And also so the only way you can do it when button lock is on is by holding shift. So there you go. Also, extra action button is basically when you get, say, into a zone where you have, say, for example, the Suramar City mask. That's where these come up. I also put my zone ability bar as well, just on top of them to get them out of the way, and then some miscellaneous bars, which is off the recording screen, such as my mounts, my food, and such, is literally just here on bars like this. These are the Blizzard default bars that I never really bother moving. But I'll just show you those for now as well. They basically are just off to the edge of the resolution of the screen because I use a funky resolution, as those of you who know for well. Also, my map is just in this corner here of the recording window, but normally it's sometimes off in the very corner of the monitor. But I've more recently put in my buffs and also my map and such, so you guys can see them in the recording. But that's kind of everything that I use for my basic add-ons. This is an interesting tool. I also use also sometimes you may have seen. I actually don't think I have it on this character. Let me check. But I sometimes also use raid cooldowns, which I think, can I do a test show of this? I think I should be able to. But for some reason, oh no, I can't see it. So this is raid cooldowns here. So if I'm ever in a group with, say, a DK, a paladin, or etc. For the mass group combo, in some of the videos you might have seen like the player's name and then the. Let me just see if anyone's actually available that has it. Yeah. Hannibal, can I borrow you quick? Just need to invite you. That player could not invite. God damn it. But basically, if we were going to invite him, let's just see. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll just show you on my habit. If I log over, because it will track the Chaos Nova, because that's one of the things I've actually asked it to track. It's basically just so I know when stuns and mass grip are actually available. So what you'll see here in around this area on the screen is you guys will just see the kind of it shows me the cooldown and how long it's going to be on use when it's used as well, which is pretty awesome to see. As you can see when the game loads in. Loading game, load in, loading game. You can see through my chest. Oh my god. So what you get for wearing a green top, you're trying to green screen. But as you can see here, so if I just move this out of the way, which it should be about here, you can see Ghost Eye Derp. My stun, if I need to actually find to show you properly, I need to find a target dummy for me to hit to generate Fury, and then I can use Chaos Nova, so we'll go to the Order Hall. But, yeah. I think you pretty much get the point of this. Is basically to track who has what in the mass grip combo. We're running that comp as well. You can also add certain things like healer cooldowns, or your own team's cooldowns and such. So if you watch here, I use Chaos Nova. It says it has 3 seconds left on its stun, and then it has 55 seconds left on the cooldown of it. So it should always be in sync, and it's the same with mass grip. So it's mainly necessarily not again with yours, because you know yours. It's mainly for your teammates ones as well. So I don't thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little kind of clunky but kind of UI video. Apologies, it was a bit kind of here, there and everywhere. I just kind of decided to jump on and made this video for you guys and kind of talk about it, because I noticed I got a comment on one of my videos the other week or the other day about this, going into some more detail, so I wanted to make this video for you guys. If you would like to see any more updated kind of talk about videos on SP or Demon Hunter, let me know in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, make sure to leave this video with a like and make sure to be subscribed. We hit 920 subs as of, I think, yesterday, so that's pretty awesome. Thank you guys for that. We are closing in on the 1K mark, which is pretty awesome. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave it with a like, and I'd love to hear any feedback or comments in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.